Mr. Speaker, today I rise to update this House and the listening public on our education reform efforts, specifically regarding the demonstrable progress that we are making with the design and implementation of parish primary schools and what's next for transforming our public education system. Mr. Speaker, before I go into the specifics of our education reform agenda, I am pleased to report that despite a challenging summer for children and families across the island, the school has started with minimal interruptions. The tragic loss of recent graduates and current students who are part of the BPSS family over the summer has been deeply felt. In response, schools were given an opportunity to design back-to-school programs tailored to the needs of their school communities. These programs focused on providing a supportive and nurturing environment to set a positive tone for the year ahead. This was made possible by classrooms and school buildings that were well prepared to receive educators and students, thanks to work completed over the summer. For this, Mr. Speaker, I extend my deepest appreciation for everyone involved. Mr. Speaker, since my last ministerial statement, we have made significant progress in our transition from a 3-tier to a 2-tier education system. This includes phasing out middle schools and establishing parish primary and signature senior schools. The government remains steadfast in our belief that parish primary schools are the key to mobilizing community strengths and resources to support our students in achieving the best possible life and learning outcomes. Mr. Speaker, the opening of parish schools in Hamilton Parish at the Francis Patton primary site and in Warwick Parish at the Purvis primary site in September 2023 marked a major milestone in the education reform journey. This year, the introduction of Year 8 students signifies our commitment to phasing out middle schools and expanding parish primary schools to include years 1 through 8. While this isn't the end of the process, it represents significant and observable progress. Mr. Speaker, one of the key achievements at the parish primary level is the implementation of the dual language program at Purvis, alongside new learning environments at both Purvis and Francis Patton. This summer, Purvis teachers, Acting Principal Enid Ferbert-Jacobs and Ms. Luann Wainwright, the Education Reform Unit School Transformation Lead, traveled to the UK for professional development at the bilingual primary school in Brighton and Hove. During this immersive experience, they worked on curriculum development, teaching strategies, and creating effective learning environments. They also gained valuable insights from staff who support diverse learners and interacted with the student council to better understand bilingual learning. Acting Principal Ferbert-Jacobs noted, quote, "The most impactful experience was seeing how seamlessly language and culture were integrated into the curriculum, reinforcing the effectiveness of our approach to second language learning through content instruction." The teachers shared their insights with the Purvis staff before the school year started, supporting the continued growth of the dual language program. Mr. Speaker, as I stated in the press release, the journey by Purvis primary educators underscores our commitment to education reform. These experiences will strengthen our dual language program and prepare students for a multicultural, multilingual world. Mr. Speaker, last week during the motion to adjourn, MP Keynes shared the story of a parent transferring their child into the public system to access this program. Stories like this, along with the positive results from the Year 1 pilot cohort, show promising signs. Students are excelling in both Spanish and English, demonstrating that we are fostering a lifelong love of language learning, cultural appreciation, and critical skills needed for the success in an increasingly globalized world. Mr. Speaker, in May, I announced that plans were underway to expand classroom spaces at both parish primary schools as they grow to accommodate 2 classes per year from year 1 to year 8. I'm pleased to report that the new classrooms for year 2 at Francis Patton, as well as new classrooms for year 7 and 8 students at Purvis, were completed and ready to start the school term. These classrooms have been designed to furnish to support flexible, high-quality teaching and learning, tailored to meet the needs of individual and group learners. Students are thriving in these new environments, teachers are embracing them, and parents are pleased to see their children learning in modern, well-equipped spaces. Mr. Speaker, we continue to see steady progress at both schools, and I'm excited to report that additional parish primary schools will begin phasing in as of September 2025 at the Elliott Primary and Harrington Sound Primary sites. Mr. Speaker, I now turn to our next steps for signature schooling. In September 2025, we will open our third signature school at the Sands Secondary Middle School site, offering hospitality and tourism, as well as educational services signature learning programs. As with all our signature learning programs, success depends on strengthening partnerships between the Bermuda public school system, government agencies, and businesses and community partners. I'm pleased to announce that learning partner memorandums of understanding have been signed with Cambridge Beaches and the Bermuda Tourism Authority. We look forward to working with these partners to develop opportunities for students to develop the skills and knowledge needed to follow their passions and achieve their career goals. Mr. Speaker, September 2025 also marks a milestone when senior schooling becomes a 5-year program. This will coincide with the final cohort of current 4-year senior school program students. As a result, in September 2025, both Year 8/M2 and M3 students will transition to senior school. In the coming weeks, meetings will be held between parents and school counselors to help students and families make informed senior school decisions. Mr. Speaker, starting this year as part of our education reform process, students transitioning into senior school will receive uniform vouchers. This year, the initiative is specifically designed to support the double cohort of students affected by this transition. However, going forward, the Ministry of Education will continue this program annually, providing $100 uniform vouchers to parents when they attend the senior school counseling sessions. Uniform vouchers will also be made available for students transitioning from primary schools when they close. Mr. Speaker, in March, I announced the closure of Prospect Primary School and Gilbert Institute at the end of this academic year. The transitions for both schools continue to be handled with care by their respective principals. I committed to providing further updates during Term 1, and we will meet that deadline. Invitations will be sent in the coming weeks for information sessions at each school. It is essential, Mr. Speaker, that as many members of our Bermuda public school system family as possible attend these sessions, as they will share important information about school openings, closures, and transition timelines. I'm also pleased that our school principals specifically requested input on how these sessions should be structured, as they know best how to engage with their school families. These sessions and how they will happen will be a result of the collaboration between the Education Reform Unit and the principals. Mr. Speaker, you will continue to hear me say in this House and in other forums that Bermuda's children are Bermuda's future. We certainly must celebrate the progress we are making. We also must be honest about the challenges we face. In some areas, long-standing practices and customs have slowed our progress, preventing us from moving as quickly as we would like. These issues are real, and we are actively addressing them, but in a collaborative way to ensure all voices are continuously heard and considered. However, Mr. Speaker, we remain steadfast in our commitment to reforming our education system for the sake of our children. We will continue to push forward, working through the obstacles, because ensuring that every child and young person in Bermuda receives a quality education is not just our goal, it is our duty. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.